Hello everyone, very warm welcome to all of you on Shubhra Ranjan IAS platform. My name is Akhilesh and mains GS paper is over and paper 1 I'm going to discuss about the geography part. So let's begin the geography. Good amount of questions are there based on core area, like the question number 4, what is sea surface temperature rise? How does it affect the formation of tropical cyclone? So समुद्री सतह के तापमान में वृद्धि क्या है उष्ण कटिबंधीय चक्रवातों के निर्माण में, ये किस प्रकार से प्रभावित करता है. So sea surface temperature. In the class we have discussed about the topic that sea surface temperature. For development of cyclone, tropical cyclone, what is required? For development of tropical cyclone, the requirement is extensive sea surface and there should be high temperature of the range 27 degrees centigrade, extensive sea surface, and due to high temperature there will be development of low pressure, and this low pressure is going to create the whirl of the wind, and this whirl start rising up, which is called as tropical cyclone. Fine. And this vortex is in anti-clockwise direction in northern hemisphere and in clockwise direction in southern hemisphere. Why? I discussed about the Coriolis force. So this sea surface temperature, high sea surface temperature is required for creating the depression. So what is the meaning of rise in sea surface temperature? This primarily rise in sea surface temperature is due to natural cause and there are anthropogenic also. So you all have this idea that naturally sun is the source of energy, and we have learned about heat budget. So the incoming solar radiation and outgoing radiation are going to be there, and in between that the high energy radiations energy is utilized for different purpose, and one part allocated for what? Maintaining the temperature of atmosphere as well as entire earth surface. So that is what the heat budget. But the thing is, this heat budget is not going to increase the temperature. This rise in sea surface temperature largely attributed to anthropogenic activity, in which you will find that there are global warming gases, and increase of this global warming gases, what happened? There is an increase in temperature. So primarily it is due to global warming gases, or you can say global climate change, and this is the reason you will find that sea surface temperature have raised. If you compare the sea surface temperature of Indian Ocean, you will find that this rise is almost 1 degree centigrade. This rise is almost 1 degree centigrade. And if you compare the sea surface temperature of Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, you will find that there is more rise in Arabian Sea by 1.2 degree centigrade, and in Bay of Bengal there will be rise by 0.8 degree centigrade. So कुल मिलाकर के the rise in temperature of the sea is because of climate change, and when there is a rise, what happen? There will be intensified cyclones. As I suggested you to read the IPCC 6th assessment report part 2, where it has been mentioned that sea surface temperature is on rise because of global warming, and they have categorically mentioned that Odisha is going to have going to have worst kind of cyclones. So why this sea surface temperature? Primarily it is due to global climate change. How it is going to affect the formation? So the formation will be affected, like there will be more frequent cyclones as well as intensified cyclone. So both intensity as well as frequency, both are going to be increased. Intensity and frequency both are going to be increased. And further, if you see, the land will be heated more, and in Bay of Bengal we are likely to have more cyclones as compared to earlier. Why? Because this is what surface runoff, 77% of surface runoff going to the Bay of Bengal. That's why the sea surface rise in the coastal area will be more when we talk about global warming. So obviously the intensity as well as frequency of the cyclone will be increased, and it will be more increased in case of Odisha. Why Odisha is going to have more tropical cyclone? The reason is higher Coriolis force. Higher Coriolis force. Okay. Higher Coriolis force will be there, and that's why we happen to have more intensified cyclone in Odisha as compared to Andhra and Tamil Nadu. Fine. So intensity and frequency of the tropical cyclone will be more. So how it is going to affect? So समुद्री सतह के तापमान में वृद्धि क्या है? There is an increase in temperature of sea surface temperature, sea surface, and basically if you see the class notes, I talked about the below sea surface temperature is more profound to determine the weather phenomena, as I discussed in the class. But yes, how it is going to affect cyclone? It will intensify the cyclone. You can cite this, and I hope you understand the answer. Second one, why do large cities tend to attract more migrant than smaller towns? Discuss in the light of condition in developing countries. Okay, so discuss in the light of developing country. You all have this idea that the large cities are hinterland of economic activity. There are magnetic effect, you can say, there are pull effect in the cities, these mega cities, where you will find better health and sanitation facilities, you will find better infrastructure, education, as well as work condition. And that's why it is going to act as a magnet for the city, for the migrants, because migrants are getting brighter future as compared to the smaller cities. Further, this kind of cities are going to have inertia effect. Inertia effect, like it may be industrial inertia, it may be any economic activity and something like that. Moreover, we have huge increase in population, and this population increase is not sustained by the traditional practices which is taking place in our villages, and that's why agriculture is going to be more burdened, and hence what happened, there is a migration from the rural to urban area, and especially those cities which is going to be mega cities are having the avenues for lot of employment generation. That's why you will find lot of migration taking place from rural area to urban area. Further, these urban area or mega cities are going to be connected not only to domestic market but to international market. So the exposure is going to be greater, and you will find that there is more venture establishment taking place in these cities. Not only this, mega cities are having robust banking and insurance system, and hence it is going to provide better condition for development of entrepreneurship. So you will find lot of ventures taking place over here, and that's why lot of employment generation, and hence it is going to attract more and more people. So this is what your central theme, and you can take down with the example of like Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, you can go for Kolkata, isn't it? And finding out all these elements over there, like Mumbai become Cottonopolis of India. Why? What was the reason? Fine. Like we can go for Hyderabad as well as Bangalore, also going to be the modern hinterland of employment generation for the skilled, what you can say, manpower. So these are the basic points which we can put over here to answer this question. Okay, तो छोटे शहरों की तुलना में बड़े शहर अधिक प्रवासियों को क्यों आकर्षित करते हैं? ठीक है. Next, what is the phenomena of cloudburst? Explain. In the class, I discussed that cloudburst is something when you are going to get massive rainfall in a smaller area and in a very less time. So whenever there is a rapid rise of air taking place, it may be orographic rise, it may be convectional rise, or it may be cyclonic rise. So there is thick cloud formation, and this vertical rise will take place. Rapid rise will create thick cloud formation over here, thick vertical cloud formation. Okay, thick vertical cloud formation because of rapid rise in air. Rapid rise in air. So what happened? This rain bearing cloud start raining over here, and in a very small area of say 20 to 30 kilometer square. 20 to 30 kilometer square, if rainfall exceeds 10 centimeter per hour, this much rainfall, if there is this much rainfall, then this condition is called as cloud burst. Cloud burst. So suddenly there is a massive downpour which is called as cloud burst. It may be attributed to orography plays very pivotal role. That's why you will find that the cloud burst is taking place in the hilly states like Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, as well as Western Ghats. Fine. So orography plays very important role, and this phenomena is called as cloud burst. And when such kind of rainfall is taking place in upper riparian region, obviously it can cause flash flood like in Kedarnath, flash flood, and massive rainfall can also lead to landslide. It may cause mud flow, earth flow. So these are the impacts which you will find over here. And if you see this cloud burst with respect to India, you can give the map of India where most of the cloud burst phenomena taking place. For example, if you see India, you'll find that the area of Himalayan states and Western Ghats. Himalayan state and Western Ghats, they are known for cloud burst. So if you see this Himalaya, Middle Himalaya, and Shivalik. So this area is known for cloud burst. Apart from it, we have Western Ghats, especially near Nilgiris, near Doda Beta, near Anaimudi, near Kudremukh, Kalsubai, Brahmagiri. These are the hill, as well as some of the hills are origin of great river. So you'll find near Nasik, there is Trambakeshwar Plateau, then Mahabaleshwar, then we have Brahmagiri Hills. So you will find that the valley plays very important role for bringing the moisture laden wind like this Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, and these winds are meeting over here, the Bay of Bengal branch, as well as you will find Arabian Sea branch. meeting over here and sometime leading to cloud burst. Apart from it, near Panchmadi, Amarkantak, you'll also get this kind of cloud burst phenomena taking place, and it is also attributed to rapid rise of Arabian Sea branch as well as Bay of Bengal branch. So you'll find Mahanadi over here and Narmada over here. Through the valley of Narmada as well as Mahanadi, there is massive, what you can say, monsoon wind coming over there and causing cloud burst near Panchmadi. Not only this, sometime you'll find cloud burst is taking place in Ganga plain, and this cloud burst is due to convectional rainfall, convectional heating and followed by rainfall. So convectional heating and rainfall is also responsible for cloud burst phenomena. So cloud burst phenomena and its impact in the class also we have discussed it in detail. I hope you understand and you are going to write what is the phenomena of cloud burst. Okay, next one is what is the concept of demographic winter? Is the world moving towards such situation? Elaborate. Basically, when we discuss the census, demographic winter is a situation when birth rate is so low, means it is lower than the death rate, and that's why what happened, there is a net decrease in the population. And if you see the world population distribution and demographic attributes, you will find that some country in Western Europe, they are developed country, they are showing such kind of trend, like Russia, Germany, where you will find the population is declining. It is due to good health and sanitation facility over there and various attributes like higher life standard, high value of HDI that have increased the life expectancy, means more than 85 and 80 years you can say, and this is the reason the death rate is what very low. That is also desired, but the thing is the workforce which happen to be the 15-year to 59-year age group is going to decline. Why? Because the birth rate is lower. It is attributed to many factors that have taken place over here. Let me explain this demographic winter. So as in the class also I have discussed about the pyramid of age, and you will find that there is a base. At the base we have pre-reproductive population age group. Pre-reproductive age group, that is what below 15 population. Okay, below 15. Then there is reproductive age population. Just above here we have reproductive age population. Reproductive age population, that is from 16 to 59. And then we have post reproductive age population, that is above 60. Post reproductive age population. Post reproductive age population. Fine. And this also having the division between male, let's say male, female, male, female. Here also male and female. Okay, so not only this pyramid representing the age composition, but also representing the sex composition in different population. If you see the below 15 age population and above 15 age population, both are dependent population. Both are dependent population. Dependent population. Okay, in terms of economic activity. But do remember, if death rate is so slow, so you will find aggregation of this higher, what you can say, age group people are going to be more, because you have reduced the death rate. And in a condition when you happen to have such situation, like we talked about demographic winter, so in that case what happened, Let me explain. In that case, you are going to have narrower base. This is something uh, that represent declining population. So this is what the children, that is what pre-reproductive age population. This is the youth, a productive population, and these are the elders. So in this case, you will find that the death rate is higher. Death rate is lower than the birth rate, and this birth rate controlled in the name of what? Stabilizing population. And there are many other, what you can say, uh, social conditions like uh, priority to given to the career. The age of marriage has been increased, isn't it? So you will find that the birth rate is very low, and that's why it is not reaching to the replacement rate. This is 2.1. Total fertility rate is going to be the replacement rate. So when birth rate is less than the replacement rate, then the condition of demographic winter arise. ये फंस जा रहा है मेरे पैर में. Okay, so demographic winter arise, and demographic winter results declining population, demographic winter. And most of the countries of West Europe and some country of Eastern Europe also is reaching to this, what you can say, stage, and that is what alarming, because the population, the productive population is going to decline, and the reproductive rate is going to be reduced than the birth rate. So this is what called as demographic winter. So what to do? The government has to facilitate, what you can say, illegal childs can also be given legality in these country. Not only this, there should be government initiative to increase the what you can say number of children. Not only this, those couple has to be incentivized. So these are what you can say different from our norms. हमारे भारत में अभी situation क्या है बच्चे? There is a lot of increase in the population. We are not going to have in certain condition, and it's good, fine, we have huge amount of human resource, but these countries are having lot of dependent population, and especially the elderly population. So in coming year, what happened, this elderly population is also require some kind of help. That's why the family is there to support. And yes, we have to strengthen the family norm also, so that there should be a responsibility shared by the generation. Okay, this generation have taken care of this generation, and this generation has to take care of this generation. So this is what the family should be there. And declining family norm is one of the major cause of this kind of situation also. So that is alarming. Demographic winter is alarming, and it is taking place especially in Western European countries, like you can say Russia, Germany is there, Estonia is there. So these are having negative growth of population. Fine. So it's not working, sir. Can you please help me? Okay, fine. So these are the question. Let me find the, yes, question number 14. The groundwater potential of Gangetic Valley is on a serious decline. How may it affect the food security of India? So groundwater of Indo-Gangetic plain, it is declining, and this decline is again attributed to anthropogenic endeavors. So Indo-Gangetic plain, if you see this Indo-Gangetic plain, it is fed by river Ganga, being the master river, Ganga and its tributary. Ganga and its tributary. If you see this Ganga plain, we can divide this Ganga plain into upper Ganga plain, middle Ganga plain, as well as lower Ganga plain. Upper Ganga plain, lower Ganga plain, as well as middle Ganga plain. So this is your Ganga plain. And if you see this Ganga plain, this stretch of alluvium is one of the most fertile stretch of the world and harboring huge population and feeding that population by agricultural activity. So this is also the grain bowl of India. Grain bowl of India. Fine. That's why here you will find intensive agriculture. Especially after 1950, if you see the 1950 scenario and agriculture, you will find there was tube well irrigation. Tube well irrigation was the second largest irrigation in 1950, and if you compare it in 2024, tube well irrigation is the largest mode of irrigation in Ganga plain, the largest. Okay, and this tube well irrigation was increased because of rural electrification drive. So due to this electrification drive, this tube well decentralized irrigation. So decentralized irrigation, that means power of irrigation lies in the people's hand. But with power, there should be responsibility, which was not taken care of. And because of this tube well irrigation as well as canal irrigation, what happened? Lot of groundwater was used and is still used, especially in the area of Western UP. This area will find that unscrupulous irrigation, tube well irrigation. In various purpose, this groundwater was exploited beyond certain limit. Generous use of groundwater. And due to that, what happened? There is a declining groundwater. Further, the increasing population as well as population density, both are going to be massive over here. We'll find that the population, increase in population as well as population density, both are going to be increased, and most of the population of this area, almost 75%, depends over agriculture. And due to that, the demand of water is on increase. Fine. And due to this increased demand, groundwater was exploited enormously. Further, not only this, pollution also played. This industrialization have taken place. Industry, urban development, and there is massive loss to forest cover. So collectively, means if you see industrialization, urbanization, obviously it will lead to different type of pollution. And due to pollution also, there is contamination of water as well as groundwater, and further this forest, clearing of the forest is going to affect the hydrological cycle of this area, and there is what you can say less percolation of water, and hence groundwater recharge is reduced as compared to the earlier what you can say time. And due to that, what happened? This groundwater gradually declined in this area. Okay, so because of increase in population density, intensive agriculture, urbanization, industrialization, as well as deforestation and huge massive use of tube well, this collectively declined the groundwater scenario of this particular region. Further, if you see some other cause which is away from your geography, that is what economy. If you see the growth story of India, you will find that India started its economic growth story with sector, what you can say, primary sector. Agriculture was the primary sector, and still it is primary sector, but agriculture was the primary sector, and secondary sector and tertiary sector. So without developing secondary sector, what happened? We jumped over tertiary sector. Secondary sector happened to be employment generative sector. Fine. And tertiary sector is also employment generative sector, but it has generated employment for skilled people. So lot of dependency over agriculture was seen. Are you getting my point? That's why agriculture has to be intensive, isn't it? And further, if you are having large population, so obviously we have to feed that population. So this area, especially this area, is having massive density. If you compare the population density of Bihar and West Bengal, these are the two large states having highest population density. Bihar is almost 1129 people per square kilometer and followed by West Bengal. Uttar Pradesh is also having moderately high population density, and this entire area is going to have huge population, aggregation of population. Okay, so that's why excessive use of groundwater, hence there is a decline in groundwater. So what will be the impact of this groundwater? यह भारत की खाद्य सुरक्षा को कैसे प्रभावित कर सकता है? बच्चे, this groundwater excessively used in irrigation. If we are going to have less groundwater, obviously our irrigation potential get declined, and it is directly linked with agriculture and food security. Not only this, we are also connecting North Indian river to South Indian river by river linking project. Okay, in that class I mentioned one term, that was moisture budget of India, especially the North India. So if you see this North Indian, not North India, especially this Indo-Gangetic plain, the rainfall takes place due to monsoon. 80% rainfall is because of southwest monsoon, and this monsoon rainfall partly it is due to the monsoon wind carrying the moisture from the Bay of Bengal, but most of the area is having water, okay, surface water, and there is lot of evaporation. So the moisture budget of India, this North India Gangetic plain is also playing pivotal role in rainfall. So if there is less groundwater, there is less surface runoff, obviously it is going to alter the moisture budget of this Ganga plain, and if moisture budget get altered, don't you think that rainfall, amount of rainfall is also going to be altered? So the entire hydrological cycle certainly go to affect the net rainfall in this area, and if rainfall get reduced, obviously it is going to be a jolt for agriculture and hence food security. So dependency over rainfall, all the other attributes of what requirement of water, groundwater, surface water in different what you can say sector is also going to be affected. So it will affect certainly the food security, because it is reduce the availability of water in this area. Okay, fine. Next question, Aurora Australis and Aurora Borealis. I usually say to you that now they are start asking question from astronomy. So if you see the paper of 2013 to 2020, they are hardly going to ask question from astronomy and landform development. Now they are putting certain question almost every year from landform development as well as astronomy. This year they have asked this aurora. In the class, I discussed about aurora, and the entire class you will find that there is coronal mass ejection, and then there is solar flare coming out from the sun, and after some time when the solar flare containing hot gases, you remember electromagnetic radiation as well as charged particle ejected out sometime They traveled into the space, but sun pulled the hot gases. Only the electromagnetic radiation and charged particle start traveling further and they are reaching to the earth surface. Not exactly earth surface, to the earth's atmosphere. If you remember the class, you can have easy understanding what exactly these aurora, these polar lights. Basically, the story starts from here and there is coronal mass ejection, and this coronal mass ejection contains electromagnetic radiation plus charges, charged particle plus hot gases. These are called as solar flare. These are called as solar flare. Fine. But due to the gravity of the sun, what happened? The hot gases return back. Hot gases return back. These are the hot gases that return back and they are going to create sunspot. Sunspot cycle I have discussed. But beyond this, only electromagnetic radiation as well as charged particle start traveling further. And you know, our solar system has 8 planets. One of the planet is our Earth, that is blue planet. So this blue planet has a peculiar armory, peculiar kavach, क्या कहते हैं उसको? Bulletproof jacket, and this bulletproof jacket is basically due to the magnetism of the earth. Okay, and that magnetism is attributed to the liquid outer core. Fine. So you happen to have liquid outer core. That is churning continuously, and due to this liquid outer core, earth has developed the magnetism. Okay. So this magnetism is developed around the earth, and this magnetic force is responsible for diverting these solar storms. They are now called as solar storms. Solar storms. They are also called as solar wind. Solar wind. And once they are going to reach towards earth, they get diverted. They get diverted like this, and they are containing high energy radiation, high energy radiations. So you can see that this coronal mass ejection, after returning of the hot gases because of the gravity of the sun, start traveling into the space, and now it is called as solar storms or solar wind. These solar winds are reaching onto the earth's surface, and earth surface nahi, earth atmosphere, and earth is having magnetosphere around it. Magnetosphere. And due to this magnetosphere, that is largely generated because of the churning liquid outer core, and these solar storms get diverted because they are containing high energy radiation of X-ray and gamma rays. They are ionizing radiation. So everyday insolation is going to have this. That's why in ionosphere, the nitrogen as well as oxygen get ionized earlier. Fine. It is already ionized. When this solar storms reaching to the ionosphere, there is charge-charge interaction among the ionosphere charges as well as the solar storms charges. Due to that charge-charge interaction, there is a spark generated, and this spark is called as auroras. Aurora borealis and aurora australis. Aurora borealis in northern means North Pole, aurora australis at South Pole. So this is what aurora, which is a polar light generated because of charge-charge interaction brought by the solar storms as well as the ions of ionosphere or charges of ionosphere. It cannot be seen in lower latitude. It can be seen in mid as well as higher latitude at night. These are polar lights. So aurora australis borealis क्या हैं? ये कैसे बनते हैं? How they these triggered, how they are going to be formed? I discussed the entire process. Next question is, ट्विस्टर क्या है, मैक्सिको की खाड़ी के आसपास के क्षेत्र में अधिकतर ट्विस्टर क्यों देखे जाते हैं? व्हाट आर द ट्विस्टर? व्हाई द मेजॉरिटी ऑफ ट्विस्टर ऑब्जर्व इन द एरिया आर अराउंड द गल्फ ऑफ मैक्सिको. दैट एरिया बेसिकली द लो लैंड ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका इंक्लूडिंग Canada, USA and Mexico. Northern Mexico is called as Tornado LI. Tornado LI. So up to the state of Texas, Alabama, these are the state where you will find tornado development. So twisters are nothing but tornado. Let me explain the mechanism and how it is more prevalent in this area. So let me explain the reason of prevalence of twisters in this area. So you'll find the Yucatan Peninsula, here it is Mexico, Florida, Laurentian Shield, Hudson Bay, and this is Alaska. Fine. I'm talking about the region which I'm going to show you over here. This is the area that is called as Tornado LI. This area is called as Tornado LI, extending largely in North America, USA, Canada, and northern Mexico near Gulf of Mexico. So this area is called as Tornado LI. This area is known for tornado formations. Tornado formation. Fine. As I discussed in the class, tornadoes are small wind system which is going to be devastating because of the whirling wind, and it is always associated with thunderstorm formation. Fine. This area is called as Tornado LI. Although tornadoes are also present in Europe, entire Europe is going to have tornado. It is also seen in the part of Africa, especially the South Africa. You will find it near Uruguay as well as in Argentina also. And even in India, eastern part of India is having some type of tornado. In Australia also, near the Queensland, you will find this tornado formation. Fine. So this area is known for tornado area. And if you compare the tornado of the world, you will find the as frequency as well as their what you can say destruction. It is going to be highest over here. Fine. This basically area is called as tornado area. Here you will find lot of development of tornado. Why tornado are more prevalent over here? Let me explain it. And before explaining it, you need to know what exactly this tornadoes are. So let me explain the tornado. So what happened? How the tornadoes are going to be formed? So there are many theory. One of the theory is that there should be thunderstorm formation, and for thunderstorm formation there is a rapid updraft. In the class also I discussed about that. If surrounding area is having some water and there is intensive heating, so what happened? There is rapid updraft taking place. Wind is moving up, and due to this moisture laden wind, what happened? This is moisture laden wind. It is moving up, so there will be condensation, and due to condensation what happened? There is massive condensation, vertical extent of cloud formation taking place. And this kind of cloud formation almost you can say as huge in the area of 20 kilometer, and if you see the thickness, it is 15 kilometer into 20 kilometer. This kind of cloud formation means area as well as thickness I am talking about. And when this massive updraft is taking place, this kind of cloud formation taking place, and these are called as super supercell. Fine. So what happened? Continuously there is a rise of air from the ground, and this condensation takes place, and thunderstorms are continuously coming over there, and this wind rising up as well as coming down, rising up and coming down, and due to that there is a vortex created, and this vortex start coming down and touching the ground. When this vortex, because of rising wind and coming wind, a vortex is created from the cloud and connected to the ground, then we call it tornado. Tornado. On Fujita scale, we can divide the tornado from 0 to 6. Okay, 6 is most devastating and 0 is what? Normal tornado. So it is a funnel shape supercell tornado formation. Okay, so this happens where there is a rapid rise, a rapid updraft is taking place, and this updraft is the result of thunderstorms. Thunderstorms, and during the thunderstorm, what happened? This entire supercell start circulating in anti-clockwise direction in northern hemisphere and clockwise direction in southern hemisphere. Due to this circulation, what happened? The cloud start creating a funnel shape structure, and it connects with the ground. As it connects with the ground, we call it tornado, and they start moving horizontally, and wherever this tornado is moving, it is going to devastate all those area. This is one of the explanation of supercell tornado formation. What exactly happening over there? Let me explain it again. Fine. So this supercell tornado formation in North America, the condition is, and there is another theory, let me explain that theory, and that theory says that tornado formation takes place when cold air mass and warm air mass collide. So what happened? The cold air mass start coming down, and warm air mass start rising up. In that condition also, this kind of, what you can say, wind will create vortex, and this vortex is going to be funnel shaped vortex, and you will find there is a cloud formation, and you will find this tornado formation over there. Further, why this is going to be prominent in North America, or you can say the lowland of North America. Let me explain this. Okay, if you see, this area is having jet streams. So jet streams in upper atmosphere is like this. So it is meandering jet stream. Let me make this meander beautiful so that you understand. So this is what I tried to make jet streams, and jet streams are meandering like this in upper atmosphere. Fine. And you will find that there is dry air, which is, and this meandering jet stream bring the cold air mass up to Texas. Texas is a state. You will find this Texas and all. So that is what part of tornado LI. Okay, and if you see, this area is having Mojave Desert. So this area is having Mojave Desert. Okay, this area is having Mojave Desert, and you will find that the warm dry air coming like this. Warm dry air from Mojave deserts coming like this. This is what Mojave Desert, Californian Desert. You'll find desert over here, Sonoran Desert. Fine. And they are reaching to this area, and this is what warm dry wind. And from Gulf of Mexico, you will find there is lot of moisture laden wind, and that is also warm and moisture laden. So you will find supply of moisture over here, moisture containing wind. So moisture containing wind from Gulf of Mexico, dry wind from Mojave Desert, and cold air mass brought by the jet stream. This is the beautiful place where all the three air is going to meet and create a vortex over there and create such kind of supercell, and these supercell are going to create massive tornado in this region, fine. And if you compare the intensity, it is going to be devastating. And if you compare the frequency, so most of the tornado of the year coming in this region. So why there is formation of supercell? Because you are going to have supply of moisture air from Gulf of Mexico, dry air from Mojave Desert. So these warm air reaching over there, creating a situation where the cold air mass brought by the meandering of this is jet stream now. Meandering of jet stream, subtropical jet stream, that is what global jet stream, which is blowing from west to east, bringing this cold air over there, and they are meeting over there, creating this kind of formation of supercell. And these supercell start rotating, and when massive rotation takes place, the cloud start coming down and creating a spout of sometime it is normally dust, containing dust, but it is associated with rainfall. And if it is formed on Gulf of Mexico, then you will find a water column develop from, it seems like water column has been developed, but this water column is largely due to the rainfall. So this is called as twister in this area, or tornado. So why it is more developed? This is what the explanation which you should give, which I have discussed in the class also. Why are the majority of twister observed in area around the Gulf of Mexico? Meeting of air masses, that is more important. Next one is, what is regional disparity? How does it differ from diversity? How serious is the issue of regional disparity in India? So social issue में भी इस part को discuss किया जा सकता है, and it is also the part of geography. So in India, why there is regional disparity? If we talk about the regional disparity in India, we have so many factors. Like one factor is going to be climate. Another factor is going to be topography, availability of fertile soil, availability of water, and that decide the aggregation of population. Intensive agriculture, then there is mineral deposit, industrialization, urbanization. It's not like homogeneous pan-India. You will find different types of topographical feature. The area is having hilly area, hilly terrain, like entire Himalayan state and northeast is going to have sparsely populated area. And in hilly area, life is not so easy. Likewise, the Thar desert, where you will find extreme, or what you can say, temperature, and that is also not going to support the life. Apart from it, if you see the Ganga plain, especially the middle Ganga plain and lower Ganga plain, in this area you will find aggregation of population is massive, and it is also having lot of poverty over there, and there are historical reason of the poverty. We can trace it through what you can say, permanent settlement type of tax collection over there. Not only this, huge amount of population can be traced back to Indus Valley civilization, because this area is having fertile stretch and the primary work was agriculture. That's why you will find aggregation of population over there, and due to that there is lot of burden over agriculture, and due to what you can say, hierarchy of the land. So the land holding is also gradually reduced, and that's why it is a bottleneck in green revolution type of thing to happen over there, because mechanization of agriculture is one of the major thing which has to be there, and this is not possible without land reform and consolidation and tenant reform in this region. So these are the things which have led to further what you can say worsen the situation, and you will find regional disparity in form of poverty as well as hunger and malnutrition. Fine. So regional disparity attributed to population distribution attributed to climate as well as topography. And further, if you see the growth story of India, as I discussed in another answer, that we jumped from primary sector to tertiary sector without developing the secondary sector. Secondary sector happened to be the employment generation. More employment generation can be possible in secondary sector, and people did not have anything to do. That's why they start doing agriculture more and more, and that's why the dependency over agriculture was more, and that led to further disparity. Further, the economic growth happened in pocket, whether we talk about green revolution or industrialization, and that have led migration, and over migration result further problem of urbanization. So whatever the problem of urbanization you can see is also there, that's also have created regional disparity. Not only this, if you see the green revolution, you will find that there is a disparity among society. In the same society, if you talk about the Punjab, Haryana and Western UP, there are large farmer and small farmer. So those who have bear the cost of green revolution become richer and richer, and those small farmer not able to bear the cost of green revolution, initial cost of agriculture, become poorer and more poorer. So there is a disparity among the society, there is a divide among the society in India. Okay, and yes, it differs from diversity. Diversity is something that should be cherished. We are so blessed with linguistic diversity, ethnic diversity, diversity of culture, diversity of climate, diversity of what you can say topography, that India is going to be called as a subcontinent. Fine. So diversity and disparity has a difference. Diversity is something which is considered as our heritage, while the disparity is what our curse. But the thing is, we can achieve equitable distribution, and that's why Government of India is doing so many initiatives are there which is going on. Fine. So regional disparity, what is regional disparity? There is what you can say underdevelopment of particular region, and some region is having more development, and due to that you'll find this discrepancy among the people. How does it differ from diversity? How serious is the issue of regional disparity in India? So regional disparity led to various problems like migration ki baat maine ki, and further over migration lead to various situation. There is unrest, skeptical what you can say tendency, and the separatist movement is get fueled by this regional disparity, isn't it? So all these are the problem associated with regional disparity. आपके social issue वाले सर इसे और बेहतर तरीके से बताएंगे. I think geography is over. So thank you very much, and these things are elaborately discussed in the class, and what I said to my student, those who have seen the classes, this Aurora Australis Borealis, twister, groundwater, even in your mains what you can say crash course, I have discussed this all, and these are the things which has been asked in your mains examination. I hope कि आपने अच्छा किया होगा. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.